Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse 40. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
You are not audible to me. Ribol. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Now I can hear you also. And the screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse 40. Pam adabra Tvam api adhabra shrutavisrutam vibho.
Tvamapi adabhrashruta vishrutam vibho.
Samapyate yena vidham bubhutsitam.
समाप्यते येन विदां
vidam
विभूषितं
bhutsitam. Prakhayani
दुःखैर्मुहुरर्दिततमानां
Sanklesha nirvanam shanti nanyata.
संक्लेशनिर्वाणाम् उशन्ति नान्यथा
Tvam api adabra shrutavisrutam vibho.
त्वम् अपि
Tvamapi
अदभ्रश्रुता
adabhrashruta vishrutam
विश्रुतं
vibho.
विभो
Samapyate yena vidam bubhutsitam.
समाप्यते येन
Samapayate
विदं
yena vidam
विभूषितम्
bhutsitam.
Prakyahi dukkai atmanam.
प्राख्याहि
Prakhyahi
दुःखैर्मुहुरर्दितानां
dukkhairmuhurarditamana.
Sanklesha nirvanam
संक्लेशनिर्वाणाम्
Sanklesha
उशन्ति
ushanti
नान्यथा
nanyatha.
Tvam api samapte yena bubhutsitam.
Samapyate yena
Vidam bhutsitam.
Prakyahi dukkair muhur arditatmanam.
prakyahi
Prakhyahi dukkhairmuhurarditamana.
Sanklesha nirvanam ushanti nanyata.
Sanklesha
संक्लेशनिर्वाणाम्
nirvanam
उशन्ति
ushanti
नान्यथा
nanyatha.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnarinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Synonyms. Tvam, your good soul.
Tvam, your good soul.
Api, also.
Api,
Api
also.
also
Adhabra, vast.
Adabra,
Adabra
vast.
vast
Shruta, Vedic literatures.
Shruta,
Vedic
Vedic
literatures
literatures.
Vishrutam, have heard also.
Vishrutam have heard also
Vibho, of the Almighty.
Vibho of the
Vibho of the
Almighty.
Almighty
Samapyate, satisfied.
Yena by which.
Yena by which.
Vidham of the learned.
Vidham
Vidam
of the learned.
Bubudhitam, who always desire to learn transcendental knowledge.
Bubudhitam, who always desire to learn transcendental knowledge.
Prakya, he described.
Prakhya, he
Prakhya
described.
he described.
Dukkaihi, by mysteries.
Dukkaihi by
Dukkaihi by
miseries.
miseries.
Muhu, always.
Muhuhu, always.
People.
Arita Atmana.
Suffering mass of people.
Sanklesha, sufferings.
Sanklesha, suffering.
Nirvanam, mitigation.
Nirvana, mitigation.
Mitigation.
Not
Usantina,
Do not get out of.
anyatha, by other means.
Anyatha, by other means.
means.
Translation, please repeat after me. Like the all God's activities,
Please, therefore, describe with
Describe the Almighty Lord's
activities
which you have learned by your vast knowledge of the Vedas,
which you have learned by your vast knowledge of the Vedas,
for that will satisfy the hankerings of great learned men,
for that will
satisfy the hankerings of great learned men,
and at the same time mitigate the miseries of the masses of common people,
and at the same time
mitigate the miseries of the masses of common people
who are always suffering from material pangs.
who are always suffering from material pangs.
Indeed, there is no other way to get out of such miseries.
Indeed, there is no other ways to get out of such miseries.
Purport.
Sri Narad Muni, from practical experience, definitely asserts that the prime solution of all problems of material work is to broadcast very widely the transcendental glories of the Supreme Lord. There are 4 classes of good men, and there are 4 classes of bad men also. The 4 classes of good men acknowledge the authority of Almighty God, and therefore such good men, 1, when they are in difficulty, when they are in need of money, when they are advanced in knowledge, and when they are inquisitive to know more and more about God, intuitively take shelter of the Lord. As such, Narad ji advises Vyasadeva to broadcast the transcendental knowledge of God in terms of vast Vedic knowledge which he had already attained. As far as the bad men are concerned, there are also 4 in number. Those who are simply addicted to the mode of progressive fruitive work and thus are subjected to the accompanying miseries. Those who are simply addicted to vicious work for sense satisfaction and so suffer the consequence. Those who are materially very much advanced in knowledge, but who suffer because they do not have the sense to acknowledge the authority of the Almighty Lord. And 4, the class of men who are known as atheists and who therefore purposely hate the very name of God, although they are always in difficulty. Sri Narad ji advised Vyasadeva to describe the glories of the Lord just to do good to all 8 classes of men, both good and bad. Srimad Bhagavatam is therefore not meant for any particular class of men or sect. It is for the sincere soul who actually wants his own welfare and peace of mind. Thus ends the Bhagavad Bhakti Vedanta purport of the first canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Narad's Instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam for Vyasadeva.
Jai Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Eti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayine Gaurakatha Damadhaya Nagara Grama Tarine Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadhe Paschatya Desatarine Jayo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Hare Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudhanam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Langai Tegiri Metripa Tamamunde Sri Gurum Dirtharinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Meshwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So the final instruction of the Narad Muni to Vyasadev is very clear like sunlight. He said, whatever Vedic injunctions that you have written, there are only 4 classes of men who will take advantage of that. Even though you have written so much of vast knowledge you have exhibited, but only 4 classes of men in the society. I mean, not the Chaturvarna system I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 4 kind of people who will approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead and take to devotional service. And there are 4 kinds of people, bad people, who will deny the existence of God, who will not accept the devotional service. What about them? Are they not living entities? Are they not part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Are they not servant of Krishna? Why? If they deny Krishna, we should also not deny them, right? This is called mercy. Dhira, Adhira, Janapriya, Priyaka. So the acharyas are one who is loved by both the theist and atheist, both the friends and enemies, both the good and bad people. Everybody will love Narad Muni and the whole Acharya Parapara. That is their nature, because they are giving welfare, whether the person is good or the person is bad, irrespective of any kind of, discriminating. Yeah, they will give welfare to all. That is the way our Acharya Parampara's execution is. So he is telling, please, he is requesting his disciple, please. Therefore, so far I told you all these things. As a conclusion, let me tell you finally, describe the Almighty Lord's activities. So write the pastimes of the Lord. Pastimes of the Lord. You know all. You have assimilated everything. You have the complete vast knowledge of the Vedas. So rather than sharing that knowledge, you please share directly the activities of the Lord. Directly. That will satisfy the hankering of the not only learned men, also the mass of common people who are suffering, because as soon as they hear the holy name of the Lord, immediately they get klesha agni. So klesha agni means material pangs. Suffering, material pangs, they will get relief from that. And once they get out of such miseries, the 3 kinds of miseries, the first misery is by body and mind, second misery is by other living entities around, third misery is by the demigods, which is not under the control of human being. So these 3 types of miseries are the material pangs that will be immediately mitigated, and they will be relieved from that. So please tell them. You see that how much the Narad Muni is concerned about the common people. Vyasadeva was equally concerned about the common people of the future in the Kali Yuga, which we are experiencing. And they both were discussing about us 5,000 years ago. Yeah. So we are placed in Bhagavatam, either in the good place or bad place. The Acharyas have already decided to free us from our sufferings. And they were spending their time, their life in discussing about us and creating a way for us so that we will be relieved from the sufferings and misery. Who does not want to relieve from sufferings and misery, you tell me? Even an animal want to be relieved from sufferings and miseries. And these acharyas 5,000 years ago, sitting and discussing about our sufferings, that in future people are going to suffer. So let us give them the solution in which they will come out of the sufferings and misery. So this Narad Muni has practically experienced, and he has shared his experience with Vyasadeva. And by his experience, he knows the ultimate solution, which will 100% save the person, whether the person is good or bad, irrespective of the person's position. This is the beauty of the experience of the Acharya. When an Acharya experience, he shares that to the entire universe. All the living entities will be benefited. That is how the experience must be utilized. So he has come to the conclusion, he has definitely asserted that all kind of material work through which you are getting the problem, you are undergoing the sufferings and miseries, can at once be eradicated when widely the transcendental glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his name, his holy name is chanted widely all around. His activities are spoken and heard by everyone. Immediately they are relieved from all kind of material pangs. So here Prabhupada is indicating from Bhagavad Gita that Bhagavad Gita says that there are 4 types of person who approaches the Lord and take to devotional service. That is not pure devotional service. That is called Misra devotional service, mixed devotional service. That is your Artha Artharthi Jignasu Shreya. So they are that one who are in difficulty, they come to Krishna and they perform devotional service and pray that please remove me from this difficulty. Okay, they are called good men. Another kind is that, so he wants money. So I am very poor, oh my Lord. So he is performing devotional service and asking in return, please give me some money. And then advancing knowledge. He wants more and more knowledge. Oh, you are the Supreme Personality of God. Please give me more knowledge, more knowledge. And finally, I want to, maybe I will, he has his own desire to get the complete knowledge. Maybe become one with God. And the 4th one is inquisitive. They are not inquisitive about themselves. They are inquisitive about God. You must understand the difference in the point 3 and point 4. Okay. One who are advanced in knowledge, know more about everything. And next is inquisitive to know more and more about God. So they all will take shelter of Krishna and they perform devotional service. Okay. So Narada Muni has advised here to Vyasadeva, please broadcast the transcendental knowledge of God, which is very confidential, which is described in confidential portion of the Vedic literature, as we said, as we saw in the previous verse. So that portion, please reveal. Reveal. Because you have got vast Vedic knowledge that had already been attained. So please broadcast the names and the activities, pastimes. Activity means pastimes of the Supreme Personality of God. So there are also bad men. Our Acharya is not selecting sectarian kind of, okay, this is only meant for those good men who want to be gentlemen, who want to make no harm to other living entities, who want some money, who want some knowledge, who are inquisitive. And who is in difficulty, it is meant for only them? No. Bhakti yoga is meant for one and all. What to speak of human being? Every living entity, it is applicable. Every living entities. So there are bad men also 4 types, as Bhagavad Gita says, Namam doshkruti no mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya pakritanyana asurim bhavam asrit. These are all the 4 types of bad men specified in Bhagavad Gita. Those who are simply addicted to the mode of progressive fruitive work and thus are subjected to accompanying miseries. Another is those who are simply addicted to various work for sense gratification and suffer the consequence. Third is those who are materially very much advanced in knowledge, but who suffer because they don't have the sense of acknowledge the authority. And fourth is atheists, Naradama and Asurim Bhavam. So the atheist, they want to deny the existence of Lord, so they don't accept God exists because only they want to exist. If there exists a God, that should be himself only, that Asura, like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. So they want to be like that. Asurim Bhavam Asrita. So these are all the 4 types of bad people. Okay. So they are always in difficulty. They have faith in themselves, not in God. And if there is God, that is also themselves. So this kind of people. So Narad Muni's advice is that the glories of the Lord and the holy name should be chanted in such a way that it should benefit these 4 kind of bad men also and 4 kind of good men also. That is Narad Muni. That is Acharya Parampara. They don't discount, okay, this Krishna consciousness is meant for only this 4 person and non-devotees are not allowed. Atheists are not allowed. No, everybody should listen to the chant the holy name of the Lord and hear the pastime of the Lord. So the bad men will become not good men, they'll become devotees. Devotees are beyond good and bad because a devotee is engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by hearing. When the bad man hears and the bad man chants, no, he is already engaged in the pure devotional service. So what to speak of becoming good man then? He has already surpassed the good man. So from the bad, one need not become good. They become transcendental. Good men can easily become transcendental. So without any material motivation. Ahaituki apratihata. So such is the devotional service. And the devotional service are 9 types as Prahlad Maharaj teaches in Bhagavatam. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam, Arshanam Mandanam, Das Pada Sevanam, Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. So for 9 type of devotional services, any one, even if you perform, others automatically will follow. So even one of the devotional service out of the 9 processes, if you dedicatedly do, you will be 100% success, not 1/9%. 100% success. Any one devotion service. Only Shravanam, only Kirtanam. Best example is our Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was in the Shravanam and Sukadeva Goswami is in Kirtanam. They both have achieved 100% perfection. So like that. Hare Krishna. So time is 7:30 only, so we can do the next chapter. We can move into. So thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 5th canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Narada's Instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam. 1st canto, 5th chapter. Now we are entering into chapter 6, which is entitled as Conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva. So now, text 1, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, verse 1. Suta Uvacha Evam Nishamya Bhagavan Devarshe Janma Karma Cha Uyapa Prachatam Brahman
Bhuya paprachatam Brahman.
Vyasa Satyavati Sutta.
Vyasa
Vyasa
Satyavati
Satyavati
Sutta.
Sutta.
Sutta Uvacha.
Suta Vacha.
Evam Nishamya Bhagavan.
Evam
Evam
Samya Bhagavan.
Devarshe Janma Karma Cha.
Devar Janma Karma Cha.
Bhuya Paprachata Brahman.
Bhuya paprachatam Brahman.
Vyasa Satyavati Sutta.
Vyasa Satyavati Sutta.
Sutta Uvacha.
Suta Vacha.
Evam Nishamya Bhagavan.
Evam Samya Bhagavan.
Devarshe Janma Karma Cha.
Devar Janma Karma Cha.
Bhuya Paprachatam Brahman.
Bhuya paprachatam Brahman.
Vyasa Satyavati Sutta.
Vyasa Satyavati Sutta.
Synonyms. Sutta Uvacha. Sutta said.
Suta Vacha. Suta said.
Evam thus.
Evam
Nishamya hearing.
Nisam hearing.
Bhagavan, the powerful incarnation of God. Devarshe of the great sage and the gods.
Devas of the great sage among the gods.
Janma birth.
Janma birth.
Karma work.
Karma birth.
Cha and
And
Bhuya again.
Bhuya
Papracha asked.
papracha.
Tam him.
Tam
Brahman o Brahmanas.
Brahmanas.
Vyasa Vyasadeva.
Vyasa Vyasadeva.
Satyavati Sutta, the son of Satyavati.
Satyavati Sutta, the son of Satyavati.
Translation, please repeat after me. Sutta said,
Sutta said,
O Brahmanas,
O Brahmanas,
thus hearing all about Sri Narada's birth and activities,
thus hearing all about Sri Narada's birth and activities,
Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God and son of Satyavati,
Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God and son of Satyavati,
inquired as follows.
inquired as follows.
Papu.
Just a moment. Yes, please.
Vyasadeva was further inquisitive to know about the perfection of Naradji, and therefore he wanted to know about him more and more. In this chapter, Naradji will describe how he was able to have a brief audience with the Lord while he was absorbed in the transcendental thought of separation from the Lord, and when it was very painful for him.
Hari Om Tat Sat.
जय मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. So further, Jai Guru Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sutta Goswami is speaking now. Again, he is explaining. So we know that it's a nested conversation. Okay, first Naimishe Nimisha Kshetra. So in Naimisharanya, the rishis are assembled and they are headed by Saunaka and they are being taught by Sutta. And how did Sutta learn? Sutta is also called as Romaharshana Sutta. Romaharshana is the father of Sutta Goswami. So, and he is a very genuine student and he has pleased the spiritual masters. He has submissively served and then he has heard like this. So, then the Naimisharanya rishis are asking from Sutta Goswami, and Sutta Goswami will tell that once upon a time earlier when Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami was speaking, Suta Goswami was present in that conversation. So he is repeating the Srimad Bhagavatam because the sages are asking specific 6 questions, which are almost similar to the questions which are asked by Narada Muni to Brahma, Parikshit to Sukadev Goswami, mainly Parikshit to Sukadev Goswami. Most of the questions they are asking, welfare for all and things like that. So here Suta Goswami is telling that further, thus hearing about Sri Narada's birth and activities. So Narada's birth and activities have been seen in previous Kalpa as a maidservant son, and how he became Krishna conscious, how he got initiated by Bhaktivedantas, how he served, how he got the mercy by 3 things. One is he served, he got the Uchishta, the remnants, and he ate it, and he listened, he heard, and then got initiated from them, the confidential subject matter. So further, Vyasadeva is inquiring. He want to know. Vyasadeva, the goddess Anyasati, inquired. He is going to ask questions now. So Prabhupada is mentioning that in this chapter, we will see that how Narada Muni saw Krishna face to face. It's a brief audience he had in the last Kalpa. Now, of course, he can visit Krishna anytime, but how that situation came upon. So brief audience with our Lord.
So we saw that Narada instructed Vyasadeva in the previous chapter. So now there is going to be a dialogue between Narada Muni and Vyasadeva. They're going to do a conversation. So let's see how two spiritual masters talks about each other when it is all, the entire life is devoted to the devotional service. Thank you very much. So any questions or comments or realization? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. हरि बोल
जय
बोलिए।
इसमें अध्याय 6 में दिया है नारद तथा व्यास देव का संवाद।
यस
जी, तो ये नारद जी के गुरु परंपरा में नारद जी के बाद व्यास देव जी हैं।
हाँ,
और व्यास देव जी के बाद गीता में तो दूसरा दिया है, और इसमें ये सूत उवाच, सूत जी, फिर इसमें शौनक जी और नैमिषारण्य के ऋषि लोग, तो ये लोग भी व्यास देव के ही शिष्य थे।
नहीं, सूत गोस्वामी व्यासदेव का शिष्य है अपना सुखदेव गोस्वामी और मध्वाचार्य, ये सब व्यासदेव का शिष्य हैं। तो सूत गोस्वामी का शिष्य है ये सौनक, अपना सुखदेव गोस्वामी का शिष्य है सूत गोस्वामी।
सुखदेव गोस्वामी के शिष्य हैं सूत गोस्वामी।
yes.
बहुत शिष्य था। हम देखेंगे कैसे ये शुरू हुआ। परीक्षित महाराज का एक सिचुएशन आ जाएगा, उसमें सुखदेव गोस्वामी आएगा। फिर भागवतम व्यासदेव ने पहले उसका बेटा को बोला, सुखदेव गोस्वामी। ये पहला श्लोक है ना, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ये पूरा श्रीमद् भागवतम व्यासदेव ने हमको देता है।
अच्छा।
तो अभी कौन बोलता है? व्यासदेव हमारा साथ बात करता है। ये पूरा भागवतम कौन हमको देता है? व्यासदेव देता है। बट व्यासदेव बोलता है एक दिन नैमिषारण्य में ऋषि लोग बैठा था, वो ये प्रश्न पूछा, इसके लिए सूत गोस्वामी ऐसे ऐसे जवाब दिया। फिर एक दिन परीक्षित महाराज को ऐसे ऐसे हुआ। फिर सुखदेव गोस्वामी आया, परीक्षित महाराज ये प्रश्न पूछा, उसके लिए सुखदेव गोस्वामी ये आंसर दिया। अभी व्यासदेव नारद मुनि से ये प्रश्न पूछा, ये प्रश्न, इसके लिए ये आंसर दिया। ऐसे पूरा हमारा पास क्या भागवतम है अभी हाथ में, वो लिखा है व्यासदेव। उसमें कौन कौन प्रश्न पूछा कि किस का कैसे सृष्टि हुआ, कौन पूर्ण है, पूर्ण भगवान क्यों अवतार लेता है, कितना अवतार है, ऐसे बहुत प्रश्न हो सकता है, वो अलग अलग लोग पूछेगा। अभी हम शुरू करते हैं ये सूत गोस्वामी और सौनक ऋषि के संभाषण में, बट आगे तो हम देखेंगे लोग का प्रश्न है और उसका जवाब है ऐसे। बट पूरा साथ में क्या भागवतम है वो दिया है, लिखा है व्यासदेव।
अच्छा अच्छा,
संभाषण को रिकॉर्ड करके भागवतम को हमको दिया है व्यासदेव ने।
हाँ।
ये हमारे
गुरु परंपरा में प्रभु जी गीता में जो है सो गुरु परंपरा में नारद के बाद व्यास, व्यास के बाद मध्व दिया है।
करेक्ट।
पद्मनाभ
मध्वाचार्य व्यासदेव का शिष्य है, फिर मध्वाचार्य का माधवेंद्रपुरी है, और वो माधवेंद्रपुरी से हमारा संप्रदाय आ गया, इसलिए हमारा संप्रदाय को बोलते हैं ब्रह्म मध्व गौड़ीय संप्रदाय। तो पहले कृष्ण ब्रह्मा को बोला, ब्रह्मा नारद जी को बोला, नारद जी व्यासदेव को बोला, व्यासदेव जो है अपना मध्वा को बोला, मध्वा जो है माधवेंद्रपुरी को बोला। इस तरह वो डिसिप्लिक सक्सेशन हमारा परंपरा आया जुड़ा
जी। मध्व के बाद पद्मनाभ है, पद्मनाभ के बाद नृहरि है, तब माधव जी।
करेक्ट। बहुत आचार्य से इन बिटवीन, उसके बाद में ये सीरियल वेरी बहुत ही सुंदर आपने बोला। वो पूरा आचार्य परंपरा का कंप्लीट नाम जो है हम परपोर्ट में पढ़ेंगे भागवत में, जब हम 3rd कैंटो 4th कैंटो में जाएंगे, वहां पर प्रभुपाद जो है हर एक का नाम लिखा है। आचार्य ब्रह्मा अपना कृष्ण भगवान से लेकर आज तक का पूरा नाम लिस्ट है हमारे पास।
भगवत गीता का इंट्रोडक्शन में भी है।
हमको ये भागवतम के बारे में जानना था कि मैंने सूत जी, शौनक जी और नैमिषारण्य के जंगल में जो लोग ऋषि लोग थे, तो वो सब लोग भी गुरु परंपरा में आते हैं।
हाँ, ये गुरु का कई ब्रांच होता है।
अच्छा,
परंपरा के अंदर ब्रांचेस बहुत होते हैं। परंपरा एक है लेकिन ब्रांचेस बहुत है। जिस तरह व्यासदेव का शिष्य जो है अनेक है, अनेक शिष्यों को व्यासदेव ने दिया। किसी का ऋग्वेद दिया, किसी का यजुर्वेद दिया, किसी को सामवेद दिया, किसी को अथर्ववेद दिया, किसी को श्रीमद् भागवतम दिया, किसी को पुराण दिया, किसी को उपनिषद दिया। इस तरह भिन्न कई शिष्य हैं, हर एक शिष्य का अपना अपना परंपरा है, लेकिन वो सब व्यासदेव का परंपरा के साथ ही जुड़ते हैं। इस तरह जैसा 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 आचार्य एम्पावर होते हैं, शक्ति आवेश हो जाते हैं, तो उनका परंपरा में जो है निर्माणिक होता है, उनके नाम से वो परंपरा जाना जाता है। जिस तरह ब्रह्मा है, ब्रह्मा जो बहुत ही निर्धारित वो है, तो इसलिए प्रमुख प्रथम आचार्य हैं परंपरा का, उनके नाम से ये परंपरा जाना जाता है ब्रह्मा। उसके बाद में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है मध्वा। मध्वा और ब्रह्मा के बीच में बहुत लोग हैं परंपरा में, लेकिन ब्रह्मा मध्वा का नाम लिया जाता है। उसके बाद गौटिया, क्योंकि चैतन्य महाप्रभु आए हैं, फिर उन्होंने इस परंपरा को मजबूत किया है, तो इसलिए गौटिया नाम लिया जाता है, गौरंगा आने की वजह से। तो इस तरह ब्रह्मा मध्वा गौटिया वैष्णव संप्रदाय ये, तो इसमें सभी आते हैं, ये सभी आएंगे। तो गोस्वामी, सुखदेव गोस्वामी, सौनक ऋषि और विदुरा, मैत्रेया, बहुत लोग आएंगे, हम देखेंगे आगे आगे। थैंक यू।
ठीक है, धन्यवाद प्रभु।
Any other questions or comments or realization? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much. So we'll wind up and start sharp at tomorrow morning the holy name by wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam class. So Vanchakal to be Vishnave Namaha. Andra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Bhagavat Satsang ki jai.
जय
Nitai Jai Premanande.
हरि हरि बोल।
Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद।